What up? It's your boy, Dick Incredible, man. And yes, I am back at it again. And this is 911 Season 5, Episode 3, Desperate Measures, and a little bit of poetic justice. Let's talk about it, man.
Yo, fight until you make it, yo, don't think it, no, just take it. Don't wait for someone to break it, take control, then don't just take it. Hey, you can make it happen, you just gotta take some action. Take the ship and be the captain.
I'm gonna be 100%. This episode had everything going for it, and I loved it. I honestly thought, going into this episode, that it was going to turn out a little bit different than it did, but I'm loving the way that Fox set this up and handled everything because I really love this episode. Now, to start this episode off, we go back to 2020 and we see Jeffrey Hudson attacking Athena. And then we get like this whole glimpse as to what happened to him as well in his altercation with Athena. She shot him and it hit him in the hip, and it traveled down to his magic wand. And I'm going to be all kinds of just straight up with you guys, man. The fact that a serial rapist gets shot and it hits his magic wand and he can't use it the way that he used it before and he has a piece sitting down, like Michael said this episode, that's poetic justice. And that's now I understand a little bit why he's so obsessed with Athena. And I also feel that because Athena is one of the people that, sure, he attacked her and beat her up, but she's one of the people that he could never really, control or whatever, because he took control of these other women and hurt them. And sure, he hurt Athena and messed her up pretty bad for a little while, even mentally, but he didn't get to control her, if you know what I'm saying. Like he did with the other women when he raped them and everything. He didn't get that with Athena. And now we can see this whole twisted, demented type thing going on with Jeffrey and his obsession with Athena. And that's what led him to her house. And you see him sniffing and licking, I'm assuming her bra or underwear. I honestly don't know what it was. It was lace, I know that. But we see why he's the way that he is. He gets the picture of her from Ransone's apartment and he hangs it up in the frame. Like he's really obsessed with Athena at this point. And that's what's really messing with him as well, because we see that he had all the time in the world and the opportunity to leave and flee and never get caught and go back to jail again. But he didn't take it because he's so infatuated and obsessed with Athena, and that ended up being his downfall. Because we see that we know that he kidnapped Harry to get at Athena, and he wanted to make Athena have to choose between Harry and catching him. And we're tied into that whole particular case that we had this episode with Bobby and the whole squad where they went to the, what was it called? Anyway, the little safe haven zone area or whatever where people, were carrying and everything like that, their weapons and stuff. So like they went to that scene and we see that Bobby's had enough because we know that Jeffrey has kidnapped Harry and Bobby has had it up to here because they don't know where Harry is. They can't do anything. It's a tough situation to be in. And we know that Bobby rarely loses his cool, but he's in a situation where he really can't do anything. And he gets to that scene and we see that, he's had it up to here. He kicks the little barricade down. We're in here to save this person. That's all we came here to do. And then everybody sees that, hey, something's going on with Bobby. What's going on? And he tells them that Harry's been kidnapped by Jeffrey Hudson. Now, all of this ties into the fact that we see that everything that Jeffrey has done up to this point is to get at Athena. Now, he was super pissed at the DA that, tried to kill Ransone. And I feel like I said, poetic justice for Jeffrey, getting his magic wand shot. But poetic justice for the DA too. I mean, because she tried to kill a police detective. Now, granted, they thought Ransone was actually dead, but he wasn't. But Jeffrey didn't like the situation that she put him in. And she was like, yeah, we have to flee. So she was all infatuated with this man. And for her troubles, she got a nice, clean bullet to the chest. That was her fault. But anyway, I digress. Man, this episode was legit because we see that all of this stuff, all this tension that's going on with Bobby, and we see everything that's Athena's fed up, and we see all of this rage that Jeffrey has / obsession he has for Athena. But this episode really focused on a lot on Michael as well, because we see that Michael he started to, be a little upset and frustrated with Athena, the way she was handling things, and he wanted to go with her while she was searching for Jeffrey. But the thing is that I feel like, now for me, it feels like all of this was done because Michael felt like it was his fault, the reason that Harry was kidnapped, because he let all the neighbors come over. He really wasn't watching Harry and everything, and in that time frame while he was watching Harry, Jeffrey kidnapped him. But big ups to Harry this episode for escaping, keeping Jeffrey on his toes, and even telling the lady that was recording him, hey, take out your phone, record this. He's trying to kidnap me, help. And, so I understand why she didn't just like dramatically intervene, because sure, he said he was a cop, so she kind of believed him a little bit, but Harry was so terrified, so she decided to record it anyway. And I love the fact that everybody had their hands in the pot, if you will. Athena, Michael, Harry was helping. May started to help, especially when they told her that her brother was kidnapped. She was devastated, but she was helping. The whole squad helped. Everybody had their hands in the pot to catch this fool, and I loved it because the whole crew just came together. And it was such a fantastic thing. Now we see that after, he kidnapped him and locked him up in the little house or whatever, Athena lured him into the subway to where she ended it. Which was perfect. Like we didn't need him to go back to jail. We didn't need him trying to escape a second chance or anything like that. Ending him was the best possible outcome. Now I was a little concerned as to how they were going to find Harry, but I knew they were going to find him because they weren't going to kill a kid like that. If they were going to kill him, I feel like they would have done it earlier, and the fact that they didn't made me know for sure that he was going to be fine. But it had me a little worried when she killed him, but I was happy at the same time because we needed to end this dude. He didn't need to have another chance to come back and escape or do something. So ending him was the best possible outcome. And then, at the end of the day, Harry ended up being saved, but he's definitely going to be a little traumatized. No matter how strong he was in that predicament, the after effects is going to catch up with him. He's definitely going to be a little traumatized because we could see that with him and Michael sitting on the couch and him focusing on the TV and not trying to have a conversation with his dad. He's a little traumatized, but hopefully maybe with some therapy and stuff, he can get over it, but he's definitely going to be messed up for a little while. But all of that was great. Now let's talk about the stuff at the end of the episode that really kind of weighed heavy. All of the stuff with Eddie and Anna. Now, I honestly thought that with the time frame we had left on the episode, that I knew that they were going to throw those sprinkles in because after the shift, Eddie was like, well, I got to go home and talk to Anna. I thought they were going to handle it kind of sloppy and kind of rush it. But in the time frame that we had left, I didn't see like a possible outcome being that great. But they actually handled it very perfectly. Granted, Eddie was a little rude in the whole entire situation, but I like the way that they handled it because Anna already sensed something was going on with her and Eddie in their relationship. It really wasn't clicking the way that it was supposed to. So we could tell that she knew something was already up. And the moment Eddie tried to talk to her, she's like, well, I got to go clean the kitchen and I don't want to mess anything up. And we knew that it wasn't going to end well, but I did not expect this collision, if you will, because I feel like Eddie could have definitely handled it better, but the way that he handled it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, if you kind of know what I'm saying a little bit, because he just came straight out and said it. He didn't beat around the bush, but I feel like it was a little bit easier because she knew what was coming as well. Just because Christopher likes her doesn't mean that Eddie is really connecting and clicking with her like that. So that allowed him to just be kind of open and blunt about it. Sad, but open and blunt about it. Then we see Buck, just kind of checking out Taylor as he's coming home to rest. Now, all of that's great. That's cool. That's fine and dandy. But the heavy part of this episode was Maddie. Now, when we saw her leaving the apartment, I really thought she was going to find Chimney after building up the courage to, just go find him. But that wasn't the case. She dropped Ji-yoon off at the fire station and left Chimney a video message saying that she feel like she can't take care of Ji-yoon at this moment or ever, and just decided to leave and don't come find me and don't look for me. Maddie is really, really hurting. And like I told you guys on multiple occasions, I love the fact that they're actually focusing on her postpartum. They're not just, okay, well, focus on it here, and then a couple episodes later, well, she's getting help, so she's better. No, it's a long process with postpartum, and they're giving Maddie the attention that she needs to really just work through this. But now it's getting to the point to where my polar heart can't take it, man. Maddie was such a strong character. Sure, all of the stuff that was going on with Doug and everything kind of, it kind of broke her down mentally a little bit, but then she built her character back up, and now she's slumping back down again. I don't like Maddie in this roller coaster role, because I get the postpartum, I totally do, but let's get her the help that she needs, because she's not getting it. Sure, she was talking to the doctor and everything, and she keeps blowing off everything else, but let's get her the actual help that she needs. And now she's leaving. She may not get that help. Hopefully she does and decides to get it on her own, but that's what and I'm not really liking that part. I'm loving the fact that they're focusing on it and not just kind of brushing it off to the side, but I don't like Maddie in this light, if you will, man. It's something that's hurting my heart, because Maddie overcame a lot and became a very strong character, and seeing her like this is really hurting me, man, because we know that she's such a better character. But overall, like I said, I loved the episode. It was so much better than I expected it to be, and Fox really came swinging for home runs with this episode, man. This your boy, Dick Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button till you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. Peace out.